Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is MRS and I will be presenting on the cause and impact of riverbank erosion. Before I explain on the cause and impact, we must first understand what is riverbank erosion. All right, riverbank erosion is the process through which a riverbank erode due to the flow of water. Most of the time, riverbanks are constructed of cohesive and cohesionless material in tiered layer. There are usually three zones along the riverbank, which is the toe zone, the bank zone, and the overbank zone. Okay, now let's go to the cause of riverbank erosion. There are usually several reasons of why riverbank erosion can happen. Some of them are floods, heavy rainfall, sedimentation, and strong current of rivers. While this type of reason can be cause of the natural, can be happening by naturally, there are also causes that because of the human impact. Uh, some of the man-made causes are deforestation, housing near bank, and the soil extraction. I will explain on the floods. Okay, floods can be said to be the primary reason for the erosion of riverbank. Flooding is an activity where it mostly it occurs when it is a rainy season. Floods usually carry out sediment and nutrient in a huge amount, which will affect the water quality of at the downstream. This high nutrient will encourage the growth of algae, thus lowering the oxygen level in the river and blocking the sunlight from reaching underwater plants due to algae covered surface. Okay, next I will explain on the man-made one. While flooding occurs naturally, deforestation usually occurs because of the action of the humans. In many of area, trees serve as a crucial stabilizing agents. Why is this? Because the root network can hold the soil and recall life together. Additionally, they can also fortify riverbanks. When riverbanks are bounded by the roots, they frequently fall in the river in a bigger chunks as opposed to more consistently in a smaller one. Next, I'll be talking on about the impact of the riverbank erosion. Although there are many and a lot of impact and effect if a riverbank erosion happen, but today I'll be talking on economic hardship. Economic hardship can be said the worst one of all of the impact of the riverbank erosion. Why I said this? This is because riverbank with the riverbank erosion continue to happen to a certain location at a certain area. If there will be loss such as the loss of farms, dead animals, cut off food supply, and the biggest one is the loss in commercial properties. In addition, the rate of homelessness people will be increased because of the migration of people from there. It is also revamp erosion also will not only affect the place where it happened, but also it will affect the life down the river. This is because erosion send extra sediment downstream, which can lead to the change of the river course and thus disrupting the shipping channel. That's all from me. Thank you. I'll pass it to the next presenter.
My name is Nur Fatina Jaha binti Nur Salihi and I will talk about the data of soil erosion in Kilim River. The data used in this research are high spatial resolution remote sensing imagery of quick bird and world view 2. Projection used in this study area is WGS 8 for Universal Transverse Mercator UTM 47 knot. This shows the satellite image used in determining riverbank boundary. The Digital Shoreline Analysis System (DSAS) is used as a tool extension in analyzing the rate of shoreline change based on digital image. The digital shoreline analysis system can be used to execute the rate of change of river estuaries in determining any changes occur along the riverbank. There are two types of analyzing involved in measuring the rate of change of riverbank, which is net shoreline movement (NSM) and endpoint rate (EPR). The results and analyses are as follows. Transit 1 covers area of 2,440 meters from Bat Cave up to the first corner after the jetty. For Transit 2, it covers an area of 1,290 meters after the corner of several river bank erosion up to the river mouth. Toward the river mouth, this area is the route for tourism activity, where tourists could explore the nature by using speedboat in the figure 7, while figure 3 depicts the net shoreline movement of Transit 1. Riverbank rate of change analyses are conducted in two different periods of year 2005 and 2012. The distance in between 2 years are measured separately for the left and right side of the riverbank. Then both sides of riverbank were merged together to be analyzed. The results indicate the rate of erosion and accretion along the river using the net shoreline movement and endpoint rate analysis. The percentage of erosion is 23.67% with maximum erosion of 9.135 meters. The area which is undisturbed area before the jetty indicate tremendous accretion from analysis obtained which indicate 76.33% of accretion around the river with maximum accretion of 24.25 meters. The maximum erosion endpoint rate is 1.335 meters, which indicates the rate of erosion per year throughout the 7 consecutive years from 2005 to 2012. The value is obtained from the net shoreline movement value divided by years in between those 2 years of data, while the maximum endpoint rate of accretion is 3.55 meters per year. From the rest distribution shown in Figure 5 and Figure 6, the most intensive erosion is indicated by red color, which can be seen at the first corner after the jetty and toward the river mouth. Better, interpret- Better interpretation of data are portrayed in Figure 10 and Figure 11, where red color indicate erosion while the yellowish to green color indicate accretion along the river.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Sofia binti Azhar from RAS2562A, and I'm going to talk about the possible solution for riverbank erosion. So one of the possible solution is Geographical Information System, which is GIS. Is one of the most functional technologies. It is a computer system for capturing, storing, checking, and displaying data related to position on Earth's surface. In this case in particular, it helps to identify the channeling pattern of river from satellite images, estimate river lateral movements, capturing soil erosion data, and setting up database for soil erosion evaluation and management. GIS has been widely used, and the technique offers a platform for the analysis of especially large database and helps in the discovery of significant findings. So image of the river from the satellite will be determined to verify the observation by using digitized bank lines. Data will then be generated showing the plot changes on the riverbank. The area that has been eroded will be calculated by the GIS software. GIS will increase the efficiency and accuracy of data capturing since it is a very efficient tool in monitoring riverbank erosion. At the same time, surveyor will be aware to overcome the problems for a better result in the future. Other than GIS, there are also other solutions in preventing riverbank erosion. The first one is riprap, which also known as hard armoring. It is a process of layering rocks along the riverbank to help protect from erosion. However, it could give a negative impact to the ecosystem since it reduces friction points which will cause the current to move faster. And lastly is soil erosion mat. It could control erosion in the long term as it is made of natural and strong material. Moreover, it won't harm wildlife or disturb the marine ecosystem.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Khairuddin, and I'm going to talk about how we are going to prevent riverbank soil erosion. Wood revetments or timber revetment have been widely used in beaches, especially in the Europe continent, for coast protection from waves and erosion. Construction of the wood revetment is strong enough to act as a barrier to wave energy when built as a permeable fence along beaches. Alternatively, it can also be used in riverbanks. Due to its easy construction and cheap cost, it can effectively absorb waves from passing boats or the strong currents of the river that can slowly erode and chip away the soil and sediments. Slowly. Sediments can also settle in between the wood planks due to its slightly permeable wall. This can provide small vegetation growth to further strengthen the wall's wave absorption property. This approach in dealing with riverbank erosion can more or less prevent and greatly slow down the erosion of riverbank slope from ship-generated wave (SVG), and it is also an ecologically friendly method by not ruining the river's natural morphology. Wood is a readily available resource that can be easily bought and reused from unused factory pallets. For example, wood pallets can be disassembled to obtain sturdy woods that can be reused for this purpose. Wood is also easier in terms of storage and transportation and assembly if compared to cement, rocks, or concrete. Other than that, if damage is observed either from the waves or natural disasters, its maintenance is easy and quick. This method can be looked upon as a quick and efficient way for a temporary soil erosion protection, or even as a permanent protection. The application of wood revetment for riverbank protection can be varied because it can be applied in both steep and flat riverbanks. For a steep riverbank, longer and sturdier wood is used because it is usually a location where soil erosion is more severe, such as commercial docks. The strong wood can hold more soil and can absorb constant waves from passing boats. Due to the woods being taller, it can also work during high tide and low tide, especially in mangrove ecosystem where the tide plays a big role in its river's morphology. Woods also have semi-permeable properties which allow small amounts of water to flow through while strong enough to hold soil where plants can grow on. This can further strengthen the soil because plant roots can hold soil together and make it more stabilized. With a more compacted and stabilized soil, a lot more types of plants can be planted, increasing the biodiversity of the ecosystems. The vegetation will also make the revetment look more natural. Wood is also a biodegradable resource, meaning that it will not be a nuisance to the environment if it were to be eventually damaged by waves or natural disasters. There are many microorganisms that can digest wood fibers or cellulose, making wood an effective material for a more safer approach in marine construction. So, we can safely assume that using wood is better for the environment, and it is logically proven that no negative impact will surface by leaving the wood revetment structure in the riverbank ecosystem for preventing soil erosion. That's all from me. Thank you so much.